Apple muffins. Muffins are a fast and easy favourite snack for both children and adults, especially when still warm straight out of the oven. They can be filled with a variety of fruits or even vegetables, or not filled with anything and made just plain. In this lesson we are going to experiment a bit and make apple muffins. Ingredients are apples, cream, flour, butter or margarine, nutmeg, golden syrup, cinnamon, baking powder, vanilla essence, eggs. First, after preparing a clean surface to work on and thoroughly washing our hands with a high-grade soap, we need to peel and cut up some apple. Preferably sweet apple for optimum flavour. Here, we're using a peeler, but you can use a knife if you don't have a peeler. Also, you have the option of leaving the skin on and just cut up the apple. That's why muffins are great to make, for you can continually experiment with new ideas. Next, we need to cut out the apple core, including the seeds. And whilst doing this, we can start cutting the apples into smaller pieces. Although we have peeled 4 large apples, we are only going to need 2 for the amount of muffins we are going to make, which is approximately 40 muffins. Once we have removed all parts of the apple core, it's time to start cutting the apples up into small, chunky pieces. You can see that 2 large apples does in fact cut up into quite a lot of small pieces. So much in fact that we need to divide the apple into 2 bowls. Next, we add some cream to the apple in one of the bowls. Mix it in and let it sit for a while to let the pieces soak up the cream. We then cut up the pieces into smaller chunks in both bowls. How small you want the chunks is entirely up to you. Another advantage with soft, sweet apple is it's easy to cut up. Next, we put all the apple chunks into one bowl and mix it all together. Next, we prepare the flour. In this lesson, we are going to experiment with a combination of different flour. We are going to use approximately 500 grams of strong bread flour. Into the bread flour, we add approximately 4 teaspoons of baking powder. Baking powder is a leavening agent and will add air pockets to the mixture when stirred and cause the mixture to rise or expand during baking. After adding the baking powder, we mix it throughout the bread flour. Next, we add approximately 500 grams of hot cake mix, which already has sweetening agents in it, so we don't need to use sugar at all. Next, we add 3 capfuls of vanilla essence and mix into the flour. Next, we add 1 large tablespoon of golden syrup, which will also add a bit of sweetness. Next, we add 2 large eggs and mix into the flour. Next, we add approximately 120 grams of butter or margarine. Next, we add a sprinkling of nutmeg. Next, we add the apple pieces into the flour mix. Wow, we're going to need a bigger mixing bowl. That's more like it. A bowl of this size will allow us to properly mix everything together. Next, we add some more cream to get the right moisture content with the mixture. Another alternative here would be to add some pure apple juice instead of cream. Next, we prepare our muffin holders and start dolloping the mixture into each holder. Next, we place the muffins into a baking tray ready to go into the oven for baking. In this instance, we are using a convection oven and set the temperature at 180 degrees Celsius and a bake time of between 25 to 30 minutes. After the muffins are baked properly and have turned a golden brown in colour, remove from the oven and allow to cool before handling. Don't they look delicious? Here you can see a muffin close up, and note its relatively rough texture compared to our banana and all-star muffins, which have a smoother texture. With the next batch of muffins, we add a bit more milk for extra moisture, and a sprinkling of cinnamon for a different flavour. After mixing the new mix, we again dollop out into the muffin holders. After baking, let sit for a while before handling and eating. Here you can see the inside texture of the new batch with chunks of apple. Go on, try a batch for yourself.